Hi, welcome to Dat Cave. Today we're going to be doing the ultimate guide to get your family outside of the house and camping. We're going to do a 4-part series. First one, we're going to be talking about location and the type of tent you should be getting, along with some little tips along there. Episode 2, we're going to be talking about sleeping arrangement, what the kind of best sleeping arrangement is, some chairs, some comforts, some furniture as well. Third one, we're going to be talking about food, kind of how to cook it, how to store it, and whatnot, and how to eat it as well. And the last episode, we're going to be talking about the activities you can do while camping, along with some little tips and tricks on what you should be packing. So let's talk about location. There's so many different places that you and your family can look at in the vast country of Australia. First one that we're going to be talking about are holiday parks. The great thing about them is if you don't actually want a tent camp, there are actually cabins and some glamping options as well, but we're mainly going to be talking about tent camping. But yeah, so that's the best thing about it is there are actual amenities. There's usually some play equipment, some swimming pools, and some of them are even nearby a beach as well. So we'll put some videos up as well so you can see what some of the holiday parks look like. Generally, if you're starting out, this is where I'd kind of start. Recommend for most people to start because it has all the amenities. It has electricity, it has the food, and usually if you do forget something, it's usually nearby shops, or some places even have a cafe or even a restaurant as well. The next location that we're looking at are ones that are probably like the national parks and a bit more off-grid as well. So they generally don't have powered sites or anything like that, but what they do have is amenities. So they have your showers, your toilets, so it's a good kind of next step up. But since they don't have electricity, you'll probably have to go off-grid, or you can start running power batteries and solar and whatnot if you do have a fridge, or you do need to charge a laptop or camera gear or whatnot as well. So there are definitely options. These ones are generally a lot cheaper as well, and there are a lot more kind of environmental things that you can do, such as usually there's like a lake going through, or there's some animals and whatnot as well. So definitely recommend going to these ones once you're comfortable and want to venture out of the holiday park. The third type of location that you can go to is fully off-grid. So there's no showers, there's no bathrooms, there's no electricity, but you can even find some free options of these, so that's a good thing. Once you're set up for these, you can start just camping and going, and the thing is, it's super quiet and relaxing as well, but you do need to have a lot of preparation just so then you do have these facilities ready for you and your family, because at the end of the day, we don't want to be struggling through the whole process, and we do want everyone to enjoy it as well. But this last one, as started, I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you do have friends that are fully equipped for it and have gone before. But if you do want to get started, generally let's have a look at kind of what a holiday park can do. Hi, so now we'll move on to tents. The first tent we actually don't have here. It's the ones that you find at Kmart, Anaconda and whatnot. We'll chuck a photo up on the screen. They're generally dome tents. They are good and lightweight. The only issue is sometimes they're prone to leaking. We actually originally had one, and we moved on from that one. Next tent that we are going to do is the one behind me. More of like a tube little pop-up tent as well. I think they're probably the ones I would recommend for people starting out. They're a good price point, and also really big for the family as well. It's just also setup isn't as simple as the third one that we'll be talking about. On this third one, we actually had some audio issues, so I'll just kind of do a quick voiceover on it. So the third one that we have is a touring tent, which is super easy to set up. This is literally a 30-second tent. The biggest issue is that the pack-up size is massive. So these actually pack up to around 2 meters. But if you do have a roof rack, or if it's through your car, then definitely would recommend it, just because you do save time doing it as well. And the one in front of me is a swag, so in case the dads in there want to have a separate room to the rest of the family, this is also an option, although not sure how the wife would actually take it. Hi, since the tent's going to be your home base for the rest of your camping trip, let's give you some small pointers and some tips to help you get you along the way. First tip is definitely try and invest in one of these kind of mesh things. Number one rule, definitely don't put a tarp on, because what it'll do is catch all the dirt, catch all the rain, and if the kids drop something, it's definitely going to catch it. Good thing about the mesh is it protects the bottom of your tent, and also make sure that less dirt goes inside the tent, because the really small grains and dust and dirt will fall through and actually end up back on the ground as well. And if something spills, it'll fall through the mesh and get soaked in by the ground. So definitely recommend one of these. It helps give your tent some longevity, but also gives a little front area that the kids can play in as well. So let's talk pegs. Generally all tents will come with pegs. Some of them will come with really small, tiny ones like this that will generally just break as soon as you try to hammer into them. If your one came with that, definitely throw them away and find another pair. There are these ones that are a bit more sturdy. Some of them have actually better heads as well. I generally would recommend getting some good pairs of pegs if you are going to do that. One, it keeps it secure, because the last thing we want is your tent to collapse halfway through your stay. But just note, not all pegs are built the same. You do have some that once you hit it with the mallet, they do bend pretty easily, especially on some of the hard grounds. But number one hack that I'd recommend is pick up some of these. So these are pretty inexpensive. They're $20 for 12 or whatnot at Bunnings, and you can get a whole heap in different other brands as well. But these are the screw pegs. All you need for these is just after a long drive, the last thing you want to be doing is hammering. So we generally bring a drill that can easily kind of drill these into the ground. So whatever type of ground, usually these go really well so far. They haven't failed us, and they're super quick and easy to add and remove, etc. So just for your next trip, just have a pair of these, and most importantly, make sure you charge your drill bit. And lastly, if you are going to keep the pegs, make sure you bring a mallet along. So there's two types of mallets. One is the rubber head one. It has kind of less kind of shock on it, and it's not metal to metal. Generally I'd recommend these, but they do take a bit longer to hit down. Or you can get the metal head ones that are super strong, but then they are metal to metal, so they do make a pretty annoying sound. But at the end of the day, you can get it done a lot faster. But just note the metal ones generally tend to bend your pegs a lot faster than these ones anyway. But yeah, so whatever you choose, make sure you come prepared, and make sure you double check, triple check this before you leave for the campsite. So hopefully that was useful to you. So move on to episode 2 if you want to learn about different sleeping configurations and also cooking, because we know both of us, eating and sleeping, are super important. Cheers.